Holy crap. Yeah, we're stuck. Someone tired. Hey, you're leaking, dude. You're leaking.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So we are in Bentonville, and it had rained the night before. And if there's one question that we get a ton when you go to Bentonville is, well, where can I ride if it's too wet? Where do you go? You gotta go to Little Sugar in Bella Vista. So on this particular ride, I had rented an e-bike. Why did I rent an e-bike? Because one, it was about 4 days into our mountain bike trip, and the other 3 guys that I ride with are beasts, and they always drop me. So I'm like, you know what? This is going to be a long day of about 25 miles. I'm going to get an e-bike so I can hang with these guys and not have them smoke me like a cheap cigar on this trip because it's the last day and everyone was pretty well spent. So went to Fat Tire Bike Shop and got an e-bike for, I want to say, probably close to
Small
90
little,
bucks a
like,
day.
rock face jumps.
So we were out at Little Sugar, and we went to Little Sugar specifically because it rained the night before, and we wanted a place to ride. So you'll see a couple of spots where we'll actually go through some puddles.
Whoa!
But in the grand scheme of things, this place, you can ride it in the rain. And we're going to prove that to you because halfway through this ride, we were going through a serious thunderstorm and rainstorm. So we'll show you and check it out. So what we did was we parked up by the golf course, and we are going counterclockwise on Tunnel Vision. So that's pretty much where we're at right now.
All right, so here's where they had that to the right closed off because of the construction, and I went left.
What's that sign say back there?
Detour left?
Detour. But it's not closed off anymore, so.
If you want to know how to clean your lens, yeah, gotta lick it.
Well, go left. Looks like it's still, you gotta go left, I guess.
Spot-free rinse. Alrighty then. Nice little flowage here.
Not really.
It had been raining, so by God, it was flowing. So here's the cool part about tunnel vision is you get these nice, quick, little, easy sections, back and forth flow. There's nothing grandiose about tunnel vision, or about just Little Sugar in general. It's fun. You can ride it. It's gravelly. In the middle of it, you've got Huntley Gravity Zone, which is another video on my channel where you've got plenty of jumps that you can actually hook up with in the middle of the ride. But this, we were simply just wanting to do an entire loop around the outer loop of Little Sugar.
Maybe this is okay to go.
It's a newer section.
Because I would go left back there, but maybe this is now the new route. Dang. Go ahead, Steve.
So as you can see, look to the left, you're in pretty much someone's backyard. Very reminiscent of the back 40. Back 40 is built the same exact way, where you're coming out and you're right next to someone's backyard, driveway, and then you just duck back into the woods and you're flowing down a ravine on one side and coming up the other. So reminiscent of how the back 40 is built, but the back 40 probably has a little bit more jump runs, possibly. There are a couple out here that we didn't get to. Bamboozled is one, and there's another one that I can't think of. I do also have another video of Little Sugar on my channel, and I do go on Bamboozled in another section, but we turned right on this particular ride to do the complete outer loop of Tunnel Vision that I couldn't do the last time because it was closed off, because there was some road construction that was being done to build a new interstate highway out in this section. So as you can see, this is one thing I want to point out. On an e-bike, I'm going uphill, and what's awesome about an e-bike is you can flow uphill and you flow downhill. I know there's a lot of angst out there about e-bikes and if they should be allowed on the trails.
Oh, this is when this is gonna suck.
E-bikes
Thank you so
suck
much.
when you gotta pick up over a big tree that's fallen, by the way. But this is what I'll tell you. Would I ever just have an e-bike? No, I wouldn't. But would I have an e-bike in my collection of bicycles? Absolutely. You know, if you can afford it, if you can have a nice, decent e-bike, I think it warrants being in your collection, and when you're wanting to go on easy recovery rides and not blow up your legs, it's good. I can tell you, we have 2 e-bikes in our family, and the purpose of that is I can go
Holy crap.
There it is. You can start hearing the thunder. And I'm not talking about an Imagine Dragons song either. It gets gnarly. But anyway, so we have 2 e-bikes in our family. One's for my wife and one's for my son, so that I can do a 25, 30 mile bike ride. But guess what? My wife and son can do them along with me, because there's no way they could have done it before. But now with the e-bikes, it allows them to go that much farther and up a lot more elevation than what they could without them. Is the goal to maybe potentially get off the e-bikes at one point? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're stuck. We're on this. We're committed.
But I didn't know, like, we might be able to pop up out on a road and find a house with a shelter of some sort to stand under. Is it red and yellow?
Oh, I'm looking at where we're at. Yeah, there's a little bit. Looks like it's just gonna.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
red.
We're in the midst of it.
We are right in the eye of the storm. So it just kept raining and raining. I've never been so wet on a mountain bike trail in my life. There's even a certain point where my GoPro gets a little, it sounds like I'm underwater, because with the microphone gets a little bit of water in it, I guess. And so it sounds like I'm underwater. So you'll see and you'll hear the transition as we're riding. Steve took a little alternate route there on the left-hand side until he realizes that the drop back in on the main trail is a little bit more gnarly and not too much fun in the rain.
Deep and deep?
Deep and deep. So this particular section, we're getting close to the most upper north part of tunnel vision. Believe it or not, it's crazy to think, but we're actually getting close to the state line between Arkansas and Missouri on this particular trail. Oh, there it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially underwater for the next 2 or 3 minutes.
The boat's got a nice and cool now.
It feels good. Drew. Oh, I was like, how are you seeing with your glasses? But you took them off? Is someone tired? Hey, you're leaking, dude. You're leaking.
Oh, man. Tire?
Yeah.
And what makes a ride in the rain even more fun? How about changing a flat tire in the rain? So we kept going. Like I said, Brad's idea, let's see if we can find a house to duck into. There were no houses where we were at. So this part right here is the upper north part of the trail. There's even a black diamond trail out there that you could kind of branch off and do, but obviously we did not. We were wanting to just escape the rain. So right about now is when it starts to stop raining. But even as you can look at the trails. We are just got done from a downpour, and you're gonna splash through some puddles, but grand scheme of things, these trails are built to ride even when they're wet.
Yeah, person's full gravel lawn.
Huh?
The lawn was like all rock.
I didn't notice.
So we're starting to get towards the end of the ride here. Somewhat. I'd say probably halfway.
I leaned back, and as I was turning, my front tire was just like slowly just popping off the ground right there. Yeah. I'm gonna sneak by on your right.
So that's my brother. He's starting to get tired because, like I said, it's our last day of a 4 or 5 day weekend. And so in my mind, I hang out with him for a little bit, and then I take off and try to catch the other guys to see if I can catch them. I don't know exactly what it's called, but there's a video on the Red Bull TV where they let all these mountain bikers go, like regular mountain bikers like us, and then they send these 2 pros to see how far up they could go into the field and catch the other 2.
Clear.
This is what it felt like with me, is that I'd ride with my brother for a little bit, and then I would pass him, and I would fly up the downhills and see how long it took for me to catch the other 2 guys, which are in much better shape than myself. But the fact that I'm on the e-bike definitely helps doing that. So it was a freaking blast flying up these hills and going as fast as I could in these certain sections. So now I let my brother go again. As you can see him ahead. best way to describe riding on an e-bike is you never lose momentum. Even when you get a slight chance where you might slow down on a normal bike and you gotta stand up and crank it, you just start cranking and it'll carry you. So here's where I'm hanging out with him again.
Can I pass you on the right or the left?
Well, see you later. All right, the race is on. Let's see if we can catch Steve and Drew. Victorious! I even get a double take from Steve. Watch this.
What's up? Yeah, he's getting tired.
Guys, you got that bike with?
No, he'd hate it.
I don't think he'd like riding any bike. He's too
This
fast.
one was pretty fun, I remember.
So
I think.
So I slowed down, let Brad pass me. He's always faster than me on the downhills. Here's one of the better flowy downhill sections of tunnel vision.
What was that?
The clip that holds my tube in place.
Oh, gotcha.
It's magnetic.
I think this is a climb right here too.
Dun 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 dun.
So,
see ya! Alright, the race is on. Click those gears. Flow up them hills. And victorious! So here's the question I get a lot. Where would you go after the rain? Would you want to go to Little Sugar, or would you go to the back 40? Brad just starts getting over for me now when he hears me.
come on!
They weren't too far ahead. Didn't take me long to catch them that time. So back to the question. So I would probably choose the back 40, but there's a certain route that I would do. You've got to do Ragu, I think is what it's called. It's a fun little jump run section right next to the road. And there's a couple of really scenic spots that you can do as well. And then you've also got to do the legends. As far as scenic, much more scenic on the back 40 than on Little Sugar. But just overall cross-country grinding up and down hills, you know, you're going to get what you want at Little Sugar. And also, you know, I keep saying jump runs.
Oh,
God. Giggity. As far as jump runs, you know, there aren't many jump runs in Little Sugar, but then you've got Huntley Gravity Zone right on the inside of the big loop. So if you can just drive to that section and just do the Gravity Zone, or you can ride to it. So there's a couple of options out there. There's even a green entry-level trail for the youngins that you can go to and drive to a park. It's called Tweety Bird, Little Tweety. It's right up here. Tweety Bird, I believe. But it's built specifically for young kids. Green trails, Strider bikes. Right here, you can park right there.
hello.
On the left-hand side, we've got a nice little loop for the beginners. So we are nearing the end. Somewhat. I know I just said that a little bit ago. Of Little Sugar. And I caught him again. Here's another call out.
This is a good downhill. Yeah. And then I think this takes us to the bottom where the golf course is. And from there, it may be a slight incline, and then you're just by the rocks.
Okay.
So.
That open section back there that had two trucks, I saw a silver truck. I'm like, yes!
They came and got me.
No, that's not where we parked.
After this downhill, I'll see if I can catch them again, but I doubt I can.
So if you decide to do an e-bike adventure at Little Sugar, this is what I'll tell you. The first time I went out there, the guy at the bike shop said, "Oh yeah, you can keep it on e-mountain bike because there's like 4 or 5 different levels, and it'll last you the whole way."
Stinky! Chilate!
And I will tell you, I kept it on e-bike, and about halfway, 3/4 of the way through, I could tell I was gonna run out of juice. And I actually ran out of juice the first time I did this on my first run out. This time round, I kept it on eco for the majority of the time, and it carried me the entire, I want to say 25 miles that we did. And then even towards the end, I even bumped it up because I knew I was going to run out of juice. So if you're going to do the e-bike experience and you want to do about 25 miles, keep it on eco. And the other tip that he gave me with an e-bike ride that I didn't know is always try to keep your cadence going. The more that you stop pedaling and then start pedaling again, each time it makes the motor engage and kick in, and each time that takes a little bit more
Look, a little slick!
battery than just if you just keep continuing to pedal. All right, here's the last
All right,
time.
let's see if I can catch one.
See ya, Brad. We are at the bottom of the golf course, and essentially right here, you're just gonna be on golf course on the right-hand side, and then bluffs on the left-hand side, and this is the last section right here. And I didn't catch him on this last time, unfortunately. So recap, Little Sugar. Is it fun? Yeah, I had a good time. I had a blast on this day. I think the other guys didn't have as much fun because they were tired.
I got one more behind me
A
too.
little more tired. And they were on an e-bike like I was. And
Ah!
there just isn't a ton of features, but it's just cross-country grind up and down. Nothing excuse me,
Right.
special like the ledges or
You're good right there. Here,
ragu with some jump runs. But overall,
Okay,
overall it's a good time. There's always something to ride in Bentonville. If it rains, just make sure you ride the right trails. These trails, you can ride it in the rain. We just did it. It was a complete thunderstorm, and we got through it just fine. But other places where you can ride when it rains are Hobbs. Is another place where we've done. Car Sloop is pretty cool. I've got another video on the channel if you want to check out Car Sloop. Actually took the whole family there and had a good time there as well. So guys, thanks for riding along. Please subscribe if you like my channel. Always constantly putting videos on here for you to check out with you, with your friends, with your family. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Appreciate you riding. Peace out, suckers. See ya!